Mic check, mic check. Sounding good. How's everybody doing this morning? My man Gio checking in with the senior sticks. They're a lot of fun. I was actually discussing an idea I had with Brian, and I think I might have talked about that a little bit in the last video. Kind of talking about maybe getting some senior content going in a little bit of a different form and fashion. We'll see what happens. Got to come across some. Headbangers said their inventory is pretty short, so it doesn't make a ton of sense for them to send out many seniors if they don't have a whole lot to sell. Kind of cuts into the profit margins there and that kind of thing. So we're going to try and come across a few. We'll see what we get. How's everybody doing this morning? Mic check. Can anybody hear me out there? Can anybody hear me? Everything's looking good on my screen. Usually somebody said something by now, so I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Oh, great. CJ's here. Can't wait to see what he's got to say this morning. So we do have a slight change of plans. We were going to have the ISPS director on this morning and just had some last minute scheduling conflicts come up. So not going to be able to have him on the show this morning. And honestly, it kind of left me in like a weird spot. I didn't really know what to do. I'd planned on that filling most of the content for the podcast. So I think what I'm going to do, unless anybody else has got any other ideas, man, we're just going to throw back. It's going to be more of a, I wouldn't say watch, not listen, but you're definitely going to need to watch to kind of catch what's going on. We're just going to go through some of the old stuff on the channel. Like I'm literally just going to start back at like day one and just thumb through it until I get bored or you get bored or we come up with something else to do. Just kind of a chilling with chat podcast. Go to bed, CJ. Yeah, that'd be cool if CJ wanted to go back to bed. That'd be all right with me. He's going to have something to say here for long. I just know it. Hey, that's all right. Doing the usual, though. We're going to let everybody kind of file in. I accidentally went live like 5 minutes early. So I was like, well, that'll work out all right. So we'll go till like 9:10. What's up, Eric? How you doing, man? Thanks for getting out of bed, hanging out with us. Don't know if you heard or not, Eric. I know that you had a few questions and was kind of interested in the ISPS thing. So I just had some last minute scheduling conflicts come up and we rescheduled that for next week, same time, same place. So this week's episode is going to be just kind of chilling and more of a watch than listen podcast. We're just going to go through some of the old content on the channel. Just kind of a throwback Thursday, you might say. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do. And then I'm going to get off of here and actually go over to Twitch and play some Warzone. Warzone had a big update this morning, so I'm going to get over there and check that out and see what's going on with all that stuff. So if any of you guys are gamers or just want to hang out a little bit longer, I'll still answer the same questions that I'll answer here. If anybody comes up with anything else or they just want to come hang out, you're more than welcome to. It's easy to find me. It's just the same thing. Twitch at the BP Hero, whatever. So I'll be over there too after the show is over. We're going to run here for like an hour and then head over to Twitch and start banging out some live content over there. If I was good, I'd probably stream more consistently. Yeah, sensual music, you could say. I don't know. I just can't find a good vibe for like filler music for like kind of the dead silence. But man, to me, the dead silence is just like cringy and awkward. But I just can't find that right like vibe or beat to kind of put in the background. So we're kind of rolling with this. Nobody has really. You're the first person that said anything about it in the 3 weeks I've been running the music. So I'll take that for what you will. Maybe, I'm not sure, but that's what we're gonna roll with for now, unless anybody decides otherwise. Like, YouTube handcuffs you so hard when it comes to like music, as far as copyrights and everything else. You can have like 15 seconds of a song and that's it, and it's just, that's not fun. It's not fun to even try and guess what songs are loyalty free and what songs aren't. So it's just easier to just kind of pull some free beats from YouTube and do it that way. CJ, you guys are going to Kansas City this weekend, right? Yeah, Adam, it is a nightmare. At least somebody understands my pain. No, James, I have not swung any of the Juno bats yet. I have a teammate that just picked up the MR1 prototype thing. He actually bought one of the last two that Headbanger had. I was able to get him hooked up with that. So I got him that. I'm hoping to get hooked up with him so we can get some BP on that thing. The weather is finally starting to turn here, knock on wood. So we'll see what we get. And hopefully it's as good as everybody says it is. Some of the earlier ones were having some durability issues. I think this is one of the ones that they have a little bit of a revised design to kind of help with that. But it's still cold here in Missouri, so we're going to kind of be mindful of what we hit and when we hit it. So we'll see what ends up happening. Juno. I said Juno instead of Geo. Juno is a new bat company. It just came out towards very late of last year. They're actually sponsoring a major team this year. They've got Flip Washington has decided to join them. And I think there's a few others as well that are actually going to swing the Juno product as far as like faces of the company. I'm not sure. I know John Williams is playing with the Juno team. It seems like Flip and John Williams are kind of a package deal. I don't know if that's just coincidence or if they, try and go somewhere together. But I know that John Williams will be playing with them too, and I'm assuming he might have his own bat coming out if he doesn't already. I can't remember. I'm not going to lie. I've been kind of lacking in my Juno knowledge. Yeah, so yeah, just like Adam said, it's most of the Anarchy guys. So yeah, we'll be playing in Kansas City this weekend. The bracket watch party. So we are going to go live and broadcast the games this weekend while we're down there, as long as everything goes well. Hopefully we'll be able to use the stream camera and not just a camera phone slapped on the fence. We went down to Texas with big hopes to be able to use that new camera, and it just didn't work out. The cell reception there was terrible, kind of in the area, and on top of everybody being there, just kind of made cell signal hard to get. So it was hope and pray with the cell phone, because the connection with the cell phone wasn't strong enough to project a good picture from our stream camera. Okay, so Eric, you're right. Yeah, I thought John had his own bat with Juno. I thought he did, but I wasn't 100% for sure. But I thought I had saw that somewhere. But I'm also losing my mind, so there is that. Anybody else playing anywhere this weekend besides the KC boys? Spencer, are you going to Liberty as well? Did you get my GTG feedback earlier too, by the way? Let's see. Put Put this down here. We're going to pull this over here. Hi. Oh, sorry about that. Let's see. All right, there we go. Moving screens around here. We're going to get started with everything since I gave you nerds a few minutes to get in here early today. I know I was trying to put up I just realized I hadn't put up the live stream room for the week. And went to do that and accidentally went live somehow. I don't know what happened. Thoughts on tournament rules in Tampa Bay? Pretty much every tournament has different rules. Outlaws certain bats. Has no compression testing. Also, the new Pro M balls are rocks. So, I can tell you from being in a pretty rural area that basically some of my guys on here have played. Some of my St. Louis guys that are checking in here have played like in my area. Yeah, because I'm like maybe 2.5 hours from St. Louis. They've came out and played in Podunk, I call it, and they'll tell you, man, it's the Wild West out here, and it's not like shave bats everywhere, nothing like that. It's just whatever rules they decide to have for the weekend. That's a lot of like fundraiser type ball. So the sanctioned stuff that we play is usually in Columbia, and the next closest drive is like an hour and a half to 2 hours to either St. Louis or Kansas City is basically your only options. Other than that, it's going to be very like rec style, podunk, fundraiser type stuff. Because Columbia just doesn't have a ton of stuff right now. So you run into a lot of, my friend Brent, I don't know if he's watching it this morning or not, but he moved here from Wisconsin, and they play a lot of serious ASA ball up in Wisconsin. So when he moved down here and starts playing a little bit of tournament ball, it's not, sanctioned ASA with, player ratings and ASA bats and everything else. It's Meemaw's cat got run over by the milk truck. Let's have a fundraiser so Meemaw can have a new cat. Or, Joey's house burned down. Let's all have a fundraiser, get drunk, play softball, raise some money for Joey. I mean, that's just kind of the type of tournaments that we have around here. And usually with that comes kind of the Wild West of rules. Most of the time, most of the stuff is a 52-300 ball, ASA ball, and pretty much any bat you want to swing besides a senior. It's just kind of the easiest thing. It's the most universal. It's what a lot of people play around here. And it's one of those things. That's what ASA uses for their rules in Missouri. So if you're going to go to like ASA State or any kind of sanctioned tournament, it's going to be the ASA rules. Like you can use Missouri's ASA is 1.20 stamp, which is a U-trip stamp, or it's going to be an ASA stamp. It's going to be an ASA stamp or any 1.20 BPF bat, which is a U-trip stamp bat. And the only exception is there's no seniors, and there's a very small list of banned ASA bats, and most of it is like the old stuff, like the Extendeds and the Antiviruses and the Mayhem 98s and things like that. Those are on the ban list, but outside of that, it's free game, really. So that's what we usually end up playing with around here. So as far as like rules and things go, man, I mean, any kind of formal rules that you can like open a book and look at is always a nice change of pace for me sometimes. Ian, who's the Juno player in St. Louis? So let me get this studio going here. That's not the one Oh, goodness. I want to give me that window. So let's do this. I should have had this stuff ready, but like I said, I was kind of caught off guard this morning with the change of schedule since the ISPS director he and I just had a scheduling conflict, so we rescheduled that for next week. So I'm kind of scrambling to get things going here. So is it gonna let me do that then, maybe? This thing's being difficult, y'all. We're gonna get it though. We do not accept defeat around here. Chat amongst yourselves. So let's go here. Inception. Okay. So we got that done. Bring Ugly Mug back. And let's pull up our first video. Like I said, I'm just going literally all the way back. So my channel is like, if you go to if you have a YouTube channel and you go to the studio. What's up, John? How you doing? So if we go to the studio, then you can basically flip it around and look at your publish date, and that is the time frame that you can look at. We're going back all the way to, oh look, there's a Mustang clip on here. So I used to have this Mustang. Let's check this one out. Y'all can be happy. I'm going to cut the central music for a little bit. Oh, listen to that cam. That chunky cam, baby. That chunky cam. Somebody wanted an exhaust clip for this cam. So that was just a stock bottom end 302 with, what was it, Trick Flow Stage 2 cam and some Edelbrock heads. Pretty hillbilly stuff. We get into the first video here. Let's see. So we talked about the Dictator video last week. Let's see what we got here. I think this one. This is where it started.
We've been to every
with let's skip ahead. So this is where it started. Just kind of one thing evolving, one thing to the next. My buddy Scott out here pitched it to me. Dude had like hardly any interest at all in playing slow pitch softball. Just wait, it gets better. So that ball was knowing what I know now and everything else. It was a close call. A little too close for hitting the ball at him. And yep, there it was right there. I could have killed my man right there. I was an idiot, had no clue what I was doing. This is pretty cringy stuff. I can't even remember what I was working on this day, but this is, like I said last week, this is how it all started. Like, I was working on something, trying to fix something with my swing. I don't even remember what. There's a lot of broken things here, so it was just like pick your place and start. But I swung one bat last video, and then somebody asked how the combatant was. And then somebody asked about the gear virus, like what do you usually hit in BP. This gear virus was disgusting. Absolutely love that bat. Because Combat did have some really durable stuff, but they also had some stuff that was not so durable. The Combatant was definitely in the category of stuff that was not durable. But this gear virus, man, this thing was my BP bat for like 2 winters. Even swung into games a little bit, but the Combatant broke in so fast, and it felt good, man. I couldn't put it down. See, I went back to it here. So it's just it's consistency, man. I'm telling you. Like, no matter what your swing looks like, it's all about consistency. Because, you know, you could see there, like, the Brian. Yeah, I felt 18 in that video. Let's see, when was that video? So that video was flashing back to 2012. So in 2012, I was born in 88. Somebody math me here. 24? I was a shithead, man. I'm telling you. Let's see what else. Oh, man. So listen, here's a cool one. So we had the... Hopefully, no, the ad doesn't... Why are these stupid ads, man? I don't know. I don't know who does YouTube ads, but it's dumb. I don't even get a choice. I have to watch them on my own stuff. So this bat, if you're familiar with combats, like I said, we're strolling through the combat days here. So this one here was the Johnny McCraw virus. This was the virus plague. Everybody just called them the plague or the virus or whatever. So this one was actually back when the player's model used to actually kind of be a thing, and confirmed by Don Cooper, and they were... I bet the dude that I sold this to still has it. He and I exchanged hands with it several different times. It was actually, the plague was I want to say 13 and a half inch barrel, somewhere around in there. And this was a 12-inch barrel. So I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, dude, stand still and don't look like a fool. But I thought walking the box was cool because I'm a shithead kid. I don't really know what else to say. But this bat was stupid, though. I'm talking just like plumb dumb. It wasn't like, and don't get me wrong, player's model, no, it wasn't like better than anything produced. It was just, man, it had a different feel to it. And it felt so good. So it was a 12-inch barrel. They basically, in Don Cooper's words, just cut an inch off the shell and added an inch to the handle. And it was a short barrel. This was nothing that was produced. You had to, so it's kind of funny, speaking of which, I was talking about Will being in a home run derby last week, and then like 4 hours later, he posted a home run derby video.
What up, fellas? Will here with the Slow Pitch Bat Bros.
So those were never like produced, but if you had access to one via a player to get a player model, they were made for a handful of the players, and then from there they did whatever with them. And that was one of those. We kind of dished it back and forth a little bit, me and the guy that I've sold it to, and I would be willing to bet that he still got it. And if I wanted to buy it, he would probably let me buy it back. And neither one of us really don't have a need for it, but it's just kind of one of those unique things that, everybody wants to have. So then I'm going to pull up another one here. And yes, Eric, you are correct. YouTube Premium would not have ads. And I'm just cheap and won't do that. I spend money on dumber things. I shouldn't say YouTube Premium is dumb. I spend money on dumb things, so I can't have YouTube Premium. So check this out. For all you ASA guys, you remember the combats. Like I said, this is going to be a lot of combat content for a while. So if you ever had in ASA Derby Boys. Dude, listen to that. That is a compression disc inside the bat that is broke. Sounded horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. But, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? But I'm telling you, when I say hands down one of the hottest ASA bats I've ever swung, that model in general, yes, but that bat in particular, and that disc was broke, is probably half the reason it was hot as it was. It was hot before the disc broke, but oh my gosh, man, that thing was just absolutely absurd. That bat was a lot of fun to swing. There was a guy plays with us. He's notoriously known for being a Judy puncher, and he hit a ball like 330 with that thing. I mean, it was just absolutely absurd. We were kind of picking on him a little bit, so he cut loose on a few swings, and man, he cut her loose for sure. No, I did not put a bouncy ball in there, CJ. Mind your own business. Bouncy balls don't sound like steel. Eric, so yes, they do use nuts and bolts for the inload in the combats, but these had compression discs inside of them, and it was the disc that had fallen apart and failed. So the disc, I wish I had a picture of one. I could pull one up somewhere, but I'm not going to put you through the agony of me trying to look for that, because it'd probably take half of this podcast to find it. So it was basically a little rubber ring, and it went inside the bat. It was the size of the inside of the bat, and then there was a metal washer on either side of the ring, and basically that's to limit the compression of the bat. That's kind of what Combat went with for their ASA stuff as far as kind of the first ones to debut something of an inner barrel technology, I'll say, because everybody loses their mind if you say FIB, and it wasn't an FIB of any type. It was about maybe an inch and a half tall. It was a little rubber washer. It was a little rubber ring that had washers on either side of it, and essentially they were riveted together. The washer had a rivet going through them, a long rivet, and the rivet would break, and then the washers would just roll around inside the barrel. I'm half tempted to try and find a picture just because I'm sitting here talking about it, and y'all are probably thinking I'm out of my mind, but that is, in fact, what broke in those bats. Combat was notorious for that for a couple of years with their ASA and their U-Trip stuff. What's a Judy puncher? So a Judy puncher is a dude that takes like a 25% swing at a ball, literally just to flick him over the infield. He has no intentions of hitting a ball hard, ever, and about the only thing he'll do is hit a ball 280 feet when everybody comes in to play him at 250 because they know he's not going to hit a ball any further than that. I mean, this dude literally would basically just swing the bat with his lead hand. I mean, he wouldn't even use his top hand to push through on the ball. He literally just wanted to lob him over the infield so he could run the bases. I mean, it's whatever. That's the style of hitter he was. He was good at it for a long time. But you talk about things the 52-300 did to the game. The 52-300 took probably 250 points off his average because instead of that 44-400 going over the infield and falling in, the 52-300 just hangs up in the air and was easily caught. He kind of had to redefine himself as a hitter. He put in a lot of work there for a while and got better, but age, just like age with everything, it was time for him to move on from the game. I'm not even sure he's played in the last 4 or 5 years, probably. Eric, kind of like the early Z1000 Eric, the Z1000 stuff, I believe what their insert was the whole length of the barrel. I could be wrong on that, but I want to say that their ASA technology spanned the entire length of the barrel, as to where the Combats was, like I said, like an inch and a half tall rubber disc. So moving on, let's see what else we got good in here. So let's check this one out.
This
one is from late 13. And man, I'm so sick of this nerd. Ooh, you pick up a TV, you're so cool. So this was from like late 2013, as you can see by the date. And I kind of accidentally on purpose kind of figured out how to cut a softball. And it wreaked a lot of havoc with me. I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It got to the point where I would just set myself up to just tomahawk chop everything. People talk, oh, you swing down on the ball, you cut the ball. Like, yeah, but that's literally all I used to be able to do. Like, if you'll pay attention, any ball that I get from like probably mid-stomach down, I could cut pretty well, but anything chest up, see right there, chest up, I just couldn't do anything with it because I was just chopping at the ball and hitting the bottom of the ball. Didn't matter what I was swinging. See, there's another one. I mean, that's a booger into the outfield just because I'm chopping in a ball at my shoulder. See, the ball that's lower, I cut better. This is cringy to watch, but I'm here for it. It's whatever. I got nothing to hide. I'm not trying to impress anybody or claim to be something I'm not. And see, even there's a hard ground ball at a ball, like mid stomach and down. I don't even know what that was. But see, there's another one. It was all about getting the pitch low to me, which is kind of funny now because I hate hitting low pitches now that I've kind of fixed the chop I had in my swing. And yeah, Adam, you think further out in front, but if I stop some of these, you'll see like, dude, look how far I'm striding. Like my foot's not even on the ground yet, and I'm like doing the splits. So hitting the ball out in front, let's see if I can slow this down. Playback speed. But I mean, I've already overstridden, like overstrided. I don't even think overstridden's a word. So I've already overstrided here. Like basically the only amount of power that I'm going to have left in this swing is going to be how loaded up my hands are and ready to snap when they get out. This is shot in like 30 frames, so it's not going to have a ton of like slow motion to it, but there's my point of contact. My point of contact is 2.5 feet out in front of me, maybe even further. So it wasn't a matter of hitting it further out in front. It was a matter of leveling the swing up and letting the ball come to me. Like, this is how I used to hit every ball. It was, like the weight transfer thing. I used to be, people tell me, transfer your weight. And seeing some of the upper level guys, swing out of their ass to hit a ball, like their back foot would come off the ground. So I thought, okay, so I just need to make sure my back foot comes off the ground. That's how I transfer my weight. Man, I just didn't have a clue what I was doing. I'm not going to lie to you. I still don't, for that matter. But this point of contact and the swing plane that I had here, I mean, yeah, you can see like the bat head was almost down by my knees after I hit that ball. You get it there, this cringy sound we got going here. But point of contact in swing plane were two things that made a ton of difference to me as far as like improving my game. And like I said, we all thought, we've all been the shithead kid. Like, we thought we were good. We didn't think we needed to get better until I started filming myself. And I was like, man, this is kind of cringy. Like, this is bad. And even like some of the tee work that I did, let's go to one of those because this is awful. So let's go to even the tee work that I used to do like way back in the day. Like, I was, straight tomahawking some of that crap too. Let's see if we can find. Okay. This should be one here.
Writing's not that easy.
After this ad runs. So you can even see here, like, I'm doing the same thing. I'm way overstrided. That one wasn't bad. The first one was. But even then, like, I'm still tomahawking this stuff. There's an OGT setup right there. Shout out if you remember this old junky thing. But, yeah, even then, like, right there, like, almost fell. And let's go back. But I thought I was balanced. I thought I was doing everything right. But I was so out of balance that I almost fell over when I hit this ball. There's really, I mean, there was no load. There was no nothing. Like, the leg swings back, but there's really no, like, load up on the back leg. I don't mind this connected position right here, but I don't really do much as far as, like, drive off of the back leg with it. I just kind of, like, there's no drive. Like, my foot just comes up. I literally did nothing to push off and cleaving the bottom of the ball. That's the only reason that I feel like I was able to be a decent hitter then, was the fact that I could just cut everything, and we hit nothing but 52s all the time. So 52s like a lot of backspin, and I just kind of accidentally on purpose kind of developed this chop swing. Honestly, I don't even remember how, but I feel like that's probably the only reason that I was even a remotely decent hitter at the time compared to even what I started as. Just like a year's time. It was kind of crazy to see. Here's another one here with this, sorry for this awful audio here. Which is a great big chop. I mean, that's awful. I don't like this at all. I'm so glad. Like, I know my swing's not great now, and people tell me that, and I acknowledge it. But look at where I came from and understand that what I have now is way better than what I was doing then. I mean, there's another one like, dude, what are you doing? Like, my bat head is 2 feet off the ground down here on my backswing. It's and look at that. I mean, that ball went well because that's a good bat and a good ball with a ton of backspin. That's and like I said, just the upper half. The upper half of my swing has always been, like, as far as like ball striking and that kind of thing, has always been decent. And another thing that bailed me out was the big thing with a chop swing. Let's see if I can catch it here. The big thing with a chop swing is it kind of snaps for you because your hands get out to the end of where they can reach, and then the bat has no choice but to snap around. You're not really snapping with your top hand. Here, let's slow this down. You're not really snapping with your top hand. You're letting yourself get completely extended, and then the bat has no choice but to whip around. But just everybody talks about, want me to talk about how to cut a ball and everything else. And like, what I don't want is people going out and just like tomahawk chopping stuff, cleaving at the ball, just trying to create backspin. Because it's about more than creating backspin. It's how you strike the ball. Like, this is just a cheap way to cut a ball. See if I can get it. Yeah, see, like right here, I'm about to be extended with my bottom hand, which is going to give the bat head no choice but to come around. That's where the snap was coming. See right there. Like, the snap was hard, but it wasn't a snap that I was creating. So that's basically what was enabling me to hit a ball hard, was kind of accidentally on purpose, you might say. Then we will go back to where I played with a man. I've talked about it before. Dude probably doesn't even know who I am to this day, and it's whatever. Some of the St. Louis guys probably know him. His name is Scott Stevens, and dude, I'm telling you, he can cut a ball like no freaking other. He's from the St. Louis area. He can hit the ball hard anyway. But he played with us one time. We picked him up, and the dude had an absolute laser show. We were playing on a little bit of a shorter field, and I think it was like the fences were maybe 280. I think they were 270 with like a tall net. So you had to hit it over the net, right? And dude, he had people playing, like the outfielders were like with their backs on the fence, like praying to God that he didn't hit the ball at him. He was cutting it that hard. I mean, infielders were it was cold on top of that. It was cold. We were hitting 44s. Infielders were completely defenseless. And even the outfielders didn't want it. I mean, he's banging them off the net. He's banging them off the fence. Dude was just put on an absolute show. And the one thing that I picked up from that, watching him hit, is he's always level. He was always level. He never chopped at anything. His bat head was level. He didn't chop. I mean, there was a few times where he'd even get a little bit of topspin on a ball, but it was just because of how he was striking the ball. But it made me realize you don't have to chop to cut the ball. It was kind of my signature thing at the time was, Jesse cuts the ball. So, I mean, it's just what I did. It's what I kind of ran with. But then I realized that watching him hit that day is kind of what I feel like made me realize, like, it's time to change the swing here. And what you're seeing is the first adventure with this. Yeah, Adam, and you're right. There's nobody that you got to go by. Swing what works for you. And like I said, that's not me trying to mimic his swing, because my swing still looks nothing like his, and I don't hit anything like him. The dude's still a good hitter. But it's just one of those, like, it makes you realize you have room for improvement type things. For the group that I ran with back in the day, I was kind of the top dog. So, everybody gets kind of complacent and thinking, they don't need to change, or they don't need to do this or do that. And watching him hit that day made me realize, like, you have a lot of improving to do. Go do it. And this video is going to do one of two things. It's going to be a testament to the durability of this ASA Combat Wanted. These things, this is probably my favorite ASA bat ever. It'd be a tough toss-up between the Wanted or the Derby Boys from 2013. The durability on this thing was absurd. These are 47 core balls, 47 525, and I want to say 48 450. I believe that's what this whole bucket is full of. And it's however cold it is on this day. I mean, it's cold enough. I've got my hood up. It's winter, 11, 22, 13. It can't be warm. And I just went out and wailed on this thing. I was trying to get it to break. I had to break. Sorry. I needed it to break before the end of the year so I could get a return on it. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm just going to go out and just beat the crap out of this thing. And it just wouldn't break. It just kept getting better and better and better and better. See, it's still a little choppy there. That was better. A little bit of chop, but still, see, you can see even here, like, you can see the trajectory of the ball is much better. There was another good level swing. See, and I'm still like way out in front with my point of contact, so that's kind of creating a little bit of an odd trajectory. But working on leveling the swing up. Not all these are perfect, but like I said, it was kind of a two birds, one stone video. It was to break the bat and, you know, work on that level swing. Like you could see right there, like it was so far out of my front foot, like you could see it. Because what I was doing, I was stopping and kind of like holding these back swings because I knew I was videoing myself, and I kind of wanted to see like where I was at weight transfer wise. And you can even see there, like I'm way out on my front foot, way out, and there's still really not a lot of transfer off the back foot. And like even my body angle is tilted forward, but the swing plane was better but I had everything was so far out forward because I was so used to hitting the ball so far out in front of myself. Like I'm still a proponent of kind of go get the ball, but that was a bad one there. I'm still a proponent of go get the ball, but not to this extreme. I mean, like I like my point of contact to be around where my front foot is when it plants, but my point of contact here, that was a laser. My point of contact here was even still further out than that. But like I said, it's leveling the swing up. These level swings are eons better than the T-work video that we just saw. Like that. I mean, I remember this day. This is like kind of like you ever have that round of BP that like you just stands out in your mind because like you made progress and it was one of those things that like you walked away from that thinking like, you know, this is one of the better rounds of BP I've had. Like that ball was probably like 340 on a line. Yes, it's a hot bat, cold balls, and a cold day, but I mean, this was the day that I realized like, man, you can get better. Listen to that. That's just nuts. That bat was so stupid. We didn't even end up breaking it. Like the end cap came out of it, Notorious Combat. The end cap came out of it. You could see the T kind of creeping in on me there a little bit. I was kind of adjusting that. But the end cap ended up coming out and the disc flew out shortly after because the disc was loose in it, but it just hadn't broke like the other one yet. But I'm slowly figuring out the level swing. And let's see. The other thing that I think was kind of screwing me as well was
they just send you.
You're ugly. Nobody likes pocket knives. So let's see. Like I said, if anybody wants to change it up or do whatever, we can. I'm just kind of going through the old stuff here. I'll answer any questions about anything else or whatever else. We're just kind of hanging out today. The ISPS guy and myself having a mix-up on schedule kind of threw me off. So this is just what I decided to do for the day. So then let's see. Dude, speaking about cutting the ball, who remembers? Cringy video, but the content is worth it. Cringy video, but who remembers Matt Holliday?
I don't know, but I mean, that could have been a very, very important run. Now it's a one-run ball game.
There's a liner, and it's off the glove of Bonifacio.
What a rocket.
Wow.
That was frightening. Not only to Justin Grimm, off of Grimm's glove, I believe. Oh, no, it wasn't.
Nobody's touching that. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It shows it here somewhere. I think it was like 112 off the bat, 109, 112, something like that. Yeah, look at this old boy's coming out to check on his pitcher to make sure he's still got clean drawers.
This is a frightening line drive.
108.7. That is absurd. That is absurd. But Matt Holliday used to do stuff like that all the time. My biggest rant with Matt Holliday, the dude could hit. No doubt the dude could hit. But, man, he was not a good outfielder. But the dude could hit. He was strong as a freaking ox. And honestly, I kind of think him being in the weight room so much kind of inhibited his level of play a little bit. But obviously the dude's a professional athlete, so he knows what the hell he's doing. But I personally, what my non-expert opinion, Think that a little less time in the weight room would have did him a lot of good, or maybe it's just some more mobility work. But at the end of the day, he's a professional athlete, and I'm some blob sitting here on YouTube. So
To support local restaurants, we've been...
You know, what do I know? But here, let's check and see. I think here we are again with another super sketch, no screen video. Gabe out here trying not to die. It's kind of funny. So Gabe's wife at the time and my wife, and which is all four of us, decided to go out and eat. We're like, oh, cool, we're gonna go eat. We're sitting there eating. It's like, you know, we should go hit. We should go hit after this. So let's have my stuff in the car. So here we are at the field it, and they're standing behind the camera like, are we done yet? But you can see here, there's still a little bit of chop in the swing, but a lot more of a, I don't know the word, I guess a lot better strike on the ball, like even right there. It's just a lot better strike on the ball, and, you know, it's just more consistent. That's a big thing. It's just being more consistent. Just chopping at the ball like that, you're either going to do one of two things. You're going to hit a laser. I shouldn't say one of two. I guess technically it is one of two. You're going to miss it really bad. You're going to hit a laser, or your missed hit is going to be beat into the ground for a, you know, 3-hopper to the shortstop. Don't even bother running, because it's the easiest ground ball he's ever fielded in his life, or it's going to be a can of corn to the pitcher. But you can see there, it's still a little bit of downswing, but, you know, just working on driving and striking the ball. And this is kind of the transition to what I feel like really, really like took my hitting to the next level. Is, like I said, mixing it up and taking a more level approach to the ball and focusing on ball striking more. Ball striking is still one of the most important things that I approach when I go to the plate. And see, that's a good swing there. I mean, that's a low pitch. You had to swing down at it, but I struck it well.
The USGS has
that ball would
estimated
be what I call the 50-50 ball. Years ago would be the 50-50 ball. I'm either going to hit the bottom of it and cut it, or I'm going to hit the top of it and, you know, like I said, just pack your shit up and go to the dugout. But we're slowly venturing away from the combat stuff for the non-combat fans. Let's see, what else we got on here? Let's see. Hey, listen, who remembers? People can say what they want about dual stamps, but who remembers these things, man? The Easton LX.0. I like this bat a lot. I enjoy this bat a ton. You know, Easton was kind of at the edge of the new stamp. The new stamp, man, it put them so far behind. But this was kind of the edge of the worst before it got better thing. Mike out here pitching with a mask on, so he was trying to get a feel for pitching with a mask before anybody clowns on him. Just trying to get a feel for pitching with a mask, because he was going to decide to start wearing one. There's no better time to, you know, get a feel for it than go out to BP and pitch. He's kind of feeding me high, so we're still working with the choppy stuff a little bit. But this bat was good, man. I don't know if anybody ever took the time to break one of these in, or if anybody ever tried one, but I liked it quite a bit. But another thing that I noticed that I don't know where I made this change at is getting my hands off my shoulders really helped with, that's foul ball. Getting my hands off my shoulders really, for whatever reason, helped with not chopping as bad. I still loaded my hands high, but for whatever reason, it eliminated the chop. But, man, these bats were good, man. At one point, I was even debating gaming one, but then I want to say this was kind of the start of me playing some actual U-Trip, and I realized, like, just a U-Trip bat is the way to go. Not necessarily, like, lack of performance-wise, but just there's better options out there, because I was under the impression I was still going to need an ASA stamp at the time, and I just didn't. But I like this bat quite a bit. And let's see, what is this? This is... Okay, so this is 2014. I mean, that ball's torched. And this bat didn't hardly have any swings on it.
If you're trying
What's up,
to
girl?
lose
How you
belly,
doing? Let's see. Oh, this bat. So this is one of my favorite T-Work videos. And this is kind of another, like, it's starting to click. We're starting to figure it out thing. We got my man Gabe in the background, gassing me up. Still a little choppy.
Oh man, let me just check in real quick from the YouTubes. Much better.
Who swung one of these bats? This is the, what is it? The, 14 CL22. DeMarini was kind of like in a weird spot as far as like their U-Trip stuff. But dude, this bat was just stupid. I'm talking dumb. Like, we went over and played at a tournament in Springfield, Illinois, and there was a couple of guys swinging those, and like, I was like, man, there's no way. Like, those bats are cut. They're not stock. Not a chance those bats are that good, just given DeMarini's reputation. And turns out I was wrong. I think this one actually belonged to my guy Tony Wales, if I remember right, and he let me borrow it so I could get out and.
KF30.
Yeah, so Kevin Philby has got like I'm not even sure if Philby's in the major game anymore. He had a really big hitch, and we were talking like in between swings about hitches and that kind of thing, and like how some people could still strike the ball well with a big hitch, and we got to talking about Philby and the hitch that he's got, and
KF30.
but dude could no doubt hit it. Getting to watch Philby hit in person, like not in a stadium, not in a game, like he was just out taking BP swings. That dude can hit, man. Absolutely, no doubt about it. Can just hit his ass off. So, how we doing? Oh man, we're actually hanging on to viewers here. I don't know if I was going to have very many viewers for the show and tell or not. So that's what I'd call this podcast, show and tell. I think I will change that actually. So, go to the next page. Kind of transition into some of the newer stuff here. It's going to take forever if we get to like current day. But I'll skip forward a couple pages here. And we can get her going. Huh. Oh, the skills radar. Horrendous. Who remembers the skills radar when they first came out? Who bought one and tried it? Because I know I did. This phone is blowing up. What's everybody want? All right. So let's see. Oh, okay, here we go. Just because. So my guy, Cody Sly, used to be real big into softball. He got into raffles and that kind of thing. And people were getting the Z4000 Plus. Maybe this was the, okay. The Z4000 Pluses and selling them for absurd amounts of money. Who remembers this? I'm talking absurd amounts of money. And it was just an exclusive hype thing. There was the argument that these had a little more inload than the traditional Z4000, whatever it was. I don't know. I don't know if it did or not. I feel like it might have, if I remember correctly. But nonetheless, guys are winning these things in raffles. It was a Down to Earth Sports exclusive. I'm not even sure Down to Earth Sports is the thing anymore. It was a Down to Earth Sports exclusive, and people were getting them in raffles and hoarding them new and wrapper. Oh gosh, got this new and wrapper. You know, I'm not selling it for any less than $600. Well, Cody won one in a raffle, and my man Cody's full send all the time. In a.
Ready?
It's on, dog. Take it off.
Ready?
Yeah.
This is what you do with those $650 raffle bats. This is what you do with those $650 raffle bats. Take them out,
And you swing him.
swing them.
Well, guys, here it is. The moment of truth.
Oh, the cringy iPhone.
The 2016 Louisville Slugger Z4000 Plus.
The cringy iPhone
Bat
voiceover.
video, 26-ounce inload, new and wrapper going into the days. You can tell by the little intro there by my friend Cody. This is his bat, and he threw that out there. Thought it was kind of comical, so I left it in the video. Bat's got around 50 swings on it with some evil PP balls. Had nothing more than a few lines of webbing. The big hype behind these is the fact that they're made from the LS2X composite, which is the same that the OG Z2000s are made out of. To me, this feels nothing similar to an OGZ. This has their patented three-piece design. Maybe that's partially why, but it did also feel a little stiffer than an OGZ. I know hitting on an open field sucks, but that's all we had for the day. The white pole down the line is 290, and the weld that's there in left center is about 350, 360. Hit a couple balls close to the well, one hop the well, and hit several in the 320 range. The only upside I can see to this bat is the fact that it's game ready out of the wrapper. Not taking anything away from this bat as a performer.
So I still hadn't figured out how to attack the high pitch yet. You can see on some of the lower stuff here on me that I was doing a good job of putting a better swing on it, but I just hadn't figured out how to attack the high pitch yet. And that's something I still kind of struggle with at times. I still kind of catch myself chopping at him a little bit. So, yeah, see, I mean, that one there, I let it come down and was able to hit it, but I just hadn't completely figured out. Some of that stuff I shouldn't be swinging at either. That's the other thing, too. But, I mean, I'll tell you what, this thing was good. It was fun. It was a fun day to swing this. And I want to say that we posted this video on Facebook somewhere. Just posted the link, and see, that's another pitch there. Like, just go level through that instead of like bailing and chopping at it. That's something I have learned. See, like that right there, I could have just waited on it to come down and then drove through it. So I was basically the same pitch. But I posted this video on Facebook somewhere, and people were just ripping us. You know, you're insane. This bat's gonna be worth so much money, in a few years, and this and that, and carry on, and it's really not. It's it still holds a little bit of value over like a regular Z4000, but compared to everything else, it doesn't really hold. There's new unicorns on the bat market, as some people say, but the value on these held for about a year, maybe a year and a half, and then just absolutely tanked. Like, you could probably find these used for $125, $150 right now. So let's see, thumbing through things. Oof, so we're getting into some of the game footage and stuff now. So we really got into posting a lot of game footage. What is this? Yeah, Adam. Sometimes stuff might go back up the middle, but otherwise, like it's some of the stuff you just leave alone, and then others just put a better swing on it. I can fight the high stuff off to go back up the middle with it, but just something I don't make a big effort to do that with that pitch. I will if I have to, but it's not my first choice. So just kind of thumbing through here. Gosh, we're still in 2015. That's crazy. So we're going to... Golly, I posted a lot of stuff in 2015. Sweet. No, my internet doesn't want to load. Love this. Hopefully this hasn't been too cringy or too boring or anything like that. I kind of like going through this stuff sometimes and doing that thing. So hopefully this isn't too bad. Like I said, I just kind of had to throw something together here for you guys. I didn't really have anything to talk about. There really hasn't been a whole lot going on. So we're just kind of winging it here. Oh, son. Let's talk about this one for a minute. Oh. Oh, man.
All right. Got the 2015
sounds awful.
two-piece. This is Miken's first two-piece Psycho, and it comes in a Supermax inload.
With my man Dan Calicott. Dude is an absolute animal.
It had about 230 swings on it when I got a hold of it here.
But dude, I'm telling you,
they mean it. This is a 26, and it felt like a lot of 27s that I've swung this year. The barrel on this did feel stiff, a lot like the DC-41.
So one thing I will say, hitting with Dan and hitting with Matt, this is when I hit with a lot of guys in St. Louis. I hit with Kevin Roach. It's not anything against, like lower level players or anything like that, but I'm going to tell you firsthand, like, what makes some people better, and I have noticed this 100%, every time I hit with hitters that are better than me, I walk away a better hitter. And I don't know if it's a motivation thing or if it's a monkey see, monkey do thing. I don't know. But I feel like I learned a lot in the years that I took BP in St. Louis with these guys. So grateful to, have these guys. I mean, I worked for the railroad. I would go out of town, and these guys would come pick me up from the hotel. This field wasn't too far from the park. And we would just go hit softballs until our freaking arms fell off. It's just what we did. We did it for, it felt like 2 or 3 years. And I'm still friends with these guys, even though, I haven't seen Dan in person. I probably not since I left the railroad, but I still talk to Dan, 2-3 times a week. And the friend, this is one thing I like about softball. I'm kind of getting off topic here a little bit. So the friendships that can be had from some of this stuff can last a lifetime, man. It really can. And, like I said, I feel like this was kind of what took me next level with my hitting. And like I said, I can't really pinpoint why or anything like that. But it just did. Dan was a good hitter. Matt was a good hitter. Kevin Roach and all those guys were good hitters, and I hit with all of them. And for whatever reason, I took away from that what I did and became a better hitter. And I still apply some of what I learned there. We're just going to watch Dan hit for a minute because this dude's just a moose.
With the 2015 Miken Psycho two-piece bat.
Talk about somebody that can cut a ball. Jesus, dude.
Miken's first two-piece Psycho, and it comes in a Supermax inload and is approved for U-trip play.
This dude is strong as an ox in the gym.
This round,
and
makes 44s and 52s.
Dude, he just
you can check out my
monster
video,
shots, absolute monster shots, and they're all lasers.
For my swings and my full review and thoughts on this bat. Got another.
He's one guy. He doesn't even play. He said he hates tournament ball. He hates all the egotistical assholes and people coming out acting like idiots all the time and everything else.
Subscribe to the channel. Always
he
got
doesn't
stuff
even
like
play
this,
tournament ball
some
anymore.
game
Plays
footage
like
and
1 or
stuff
2
as
nights
well.
of league a year.
Like the video, share it around, and you
Yeah,
can comment
sorry,
on
1 or
response.
2 nights
Thanks.
of league a week, and said he's perfectly content with that. He'll go out and play a tournament and then realize why he doesn't play tournaments anymore. But it's crazy because the amount of pop that this dude had, and even here, like this dude's hitting the hell out of the ball, and it's not necessarily that he got better in terms of hitting the ball harder, but he applied it better. He was able to work some backside. He started working middle a little bit, and I honestly felt like the sky was the limit for him as far as where his hitting could have taken him. That's a laser, dude. And this bat was new. But it's just, God, it's just an absolute laser. I mean, I could watch Dan hit for days. It's probably kind of weird, but it's impressive to watch. It's impressive to pitch to him, and I think kind of the other thing too, like hitting with him, you know, being Mr. Cut the Ball, that I thought I was hitting with him made me realize like, man, I can't cut a ball like that. Why even fucking try? Just go out and hit a ball. Like you're not gonna hit it harder than him. You're not gonna cut it like he does. That's just one of those things you just
All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the
you just
video.
pick up. You just pick up, and it just kind of worked for him. I don't know that he necessarily ever set out to, learn how to cut a ball. I think it's just kind of one of those things that just happened, and I think that's what kind of made me realize, hey, just be yourself. Don't try and one up this dude. Don't try and hit like him. Hit like yourself. Just like Adam said earlier. Be yourself. Be your own version of a hitter. And I think that's kind of what I took away from it. Is that's what took me next level, was just focusing on hitting, not necessarily showing off, not necessarily trying to show anybody up. Not that I was before, but it just kind of humbled me in the fact that like this dude hits like a monster. Just do your thing. Just do you. Don't try and compete with him. Just do you. Because I've been guilty of that at times. Everybody has, where they go out to BP and try and one up the next guy and that kind of thing, and just wasn't jiving. So I just kind of went out and did my own thing because I realized I couldn't hang with him, and I definitely think that's one of the things still today. Like I don't hit the hardest on my team, and I know that, and I don't. Sorry, searching for words. I'm reading and talking at the same time. I don't hit the hardest on my team, and I'm not the best hitter on my team, but it's up to me to do what I can for my team with what I've learned. And am I saying I don't hit the ball hard? No, like I know I hit the ball hard. That's not me trying to like downplay anything, but it's just kind of one of those moments where it's best to be your best version of you, just like Adam said. It's kind of the message to take away from that. I'm going to dig through just a little bit more stuff here, and then I'm going to get rolling. So this was kind of a nice trip through memory lane. Sorry if you guys hated it, but I thought it was fun. I had a good time with it. Get into some of the newer stuff here. Gosh, we're still in 2016. I tell you what, let's just flip this around. I don't even know how many videos are on this channel, but it was getting brutal trying to dig through them all. I can tell you that. Because the other thing I could do... Yeah. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So let's go. We're going to do a 2019 video, mid-2019, then we'll do a mid-2020, and then like our most recent video, and then we'll probably call it good. So one thing I am going to try and do today is get out and take some swings off the tee. Probably try and do a little bit of video stuff with that. Got some ideas for some video stuff that I want to work on, but I'm not going to say anything in case it doesn't work out. I've learned to pick my battles there. Like I was so bad for a while of saying, hey, I'm going to do this video, and then ended up not doing it for a multitude of reasons. So let's go mid-2019. And then left trying to explain why I didn't do the video. Picking a good one, because, I want to gas myself up, right? That's what we're all here for. Hey, why not? Let's do This bat was DeMarini's
They just send you
for
a
sure
cool
splash
box
back
every
into
month.
the U-Trip game.
This is kind of awesome.
Hey guys, this video is brought to you by the crew at What's good, YouTube? BP Hero checking in here. What we got today, swinging for you guys, is the 2020 DeMarini Dale Brungart signature model. As you saw in the intro there, thanks to softball fans for getting this over so I could check it out. There. Check it out for you guys.
Now,
Hitting
that
on
looks better.
is a baseball field that's 325 down the line and 350 in center, and the right center is 330, 335-ish. The balls we're hitting here, I started with mostly a mix
Oof.
of 52s.
See, even still, this is a year ago, about a year and a half ago. I still sometimes get a little wonky and take a big chop at a ball.
This is a 27-ounce, approved for U-SSSA play, and had about 100 swings on it when I got my round started here. Per the norm with any Wilson
Yeah,
bats,
Jordan,
like Louisville or DeMarini, there's no actual
Man,
indoor listed.
listen, like the Worth Mach 1 XXL thing, whatever. I don't know. Like, it's good. It's going to be good. It's a Worth. It's a short barrel Worth. It's going to have a full ounce inload. That's one of those bats I never understood the hype with. No, I didn't swing one, but really, you don't have to. If you've swung any of the Worth and Mike and stuff, you know how good it is. None of it stands out above the rest. I think internet hype and what goes along with that is also Will from the Slow Pitch Bat Bros. He's big on that bat, and there's nothing saying he can't be. Absolutely nothing saying he can't be big on that bat and hype that bat up. If that's a bat he likes, I can do it. I do the same thing with Pure. Don't buy a new one or custom. Just buy a used one and call it good. But anyway, so, you know, if it's one of those things you like it, you know, hype it up. Do that thing. And I think that's where he has a much stronger and already bigger following than I do, and just a way bigger social media presence. So I think that's where some of the hype from those bats has came from. Oh, look, the notification. So I think that's where some of the hype for those bats came from, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I definitely wouldn't catch myself overpaying. I hope you didn't. But dude, you're gonna enjoy it. I'll tell you that right now, 100%, no doubt about it. Getting into some lab stuff here. I haven't even really been paying attention to these swings. Yeah, see, still a little bit of a downswing on some of this stuff, and that's basically where I'm at with my swing. Is still kind of living it up with the downswing, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. Weight transfer is better. The overall approach of hitting is better. The consistency is not even imaginable as far as how much better it is. So it's just kind of an evolution thing, just like Adam said. It's the evolution of the swing. So got that one done, and you know, as you'll see, not a ton has changed from then to now. And one thing I am going to do, if you follow me on Facebook, I did post a deal where saying, you know, hey, post your favorite swings, the favorite swings that you've ever taken, because everybody's got swings on their phone. You know, like they clip out from game footage, or they aren't recording their own BP. Everybody's got some clips on their phone they're proud of, and you know, they post them on social media. You know, I told people to post their videos in the comments below, and I'll make a video reacting to those. I'm going to knock that out here soon, kind of giving everybody a chance to get in and get their swings posted. So if you haven't done that yet, or if you haven't shared it, go share it so we can make a big, long video with reacting to everybody's swings, because that's another thing I like to do is watch people's swings and kind of watch that stuff. So if you haven't, go share that video so we can get a lot of swings on there, and post your swings if you haven't already. I'd imagine CJ, if he's still here, kind of an inadvertent message to him, maybe he'll get on there and post some of his snap-offs. I'll post those in the video if you're still watching, bro. my man's got a dirty glove up the middle. He's posted some clips of him doing some work. Yeah, I saw you added one. I didn't know if he was going to add your Snapchats in there or not. My man up there shutting the mound down. So let's go. Why not? Let's go here. Oops. Can't do that if you don't click on it right.
mid-July. It's my jam. Perfect video. Well, hey, it ain't what the people want. This is what I want, okay? With the level of trolling you gave me, I want to see some Snapchats up the middle, so give them to me. I'll put them in there. Don't you worry. Is nothing more than just a standard super inload pure integrity. This particular one is
get the first swings on my first
super
custom
inload
pure
is a full
integrity
ounce, so it's a 28
before we
with a
go
full
down
ounce.
to that's my
what
man
I got
Greg
for
right
mine.
there. It's my friend
Anybody that
Greg.
ordered could order any specs that they wanted.
His name is Brian. We'll call him
Piece,
Greg.
two
It's a
piece,
long story.
Inload balanced, half ounce, full ounce,
Pure
you name it.
sent me
This is just what I chose for
one of
mine.
these to take
It
down
is
to
a
Little
custom.
Rock.
This is not a signature bat. Pure did not
And-
reach out to me and say, hey, we want to make you know, your
Sorry,
own
Squirrel. I'm
signature
listening to
bat.
myself talk. So, Pure sent me one of these really, really early so I could take it to Little Rock and hit with it down there since we knew there'd be a lot of people down there. And, you know, let some people check that thing out. So that was kind of cool. They sent that to me. And let's see. So, okay, the last part of this video here. No offense, Brian. We're here for me. Let's see. The downswing is still there. Weight transfer is way better. Striking the ball is way better. Consistency is way better. Maybe it's just the glory of editing to make myself look more consistent. I know I catch some hell for that too, but who in the hell wants to sit through a 12 or 15 minute video with bumps and everything else? Like, I know I don't. But, yeah, Adam, the bat is magical for sure. I forgot you posted that video. That was pretty cool. I dig it. Go check out Adam's video of him swinging his integrity, his BP Hero integrity. But see, I'm getting a little better there at attacking that high pitch. Well, it still wasn't great, but it was better. I working on kind of rolling through it as opposed to chopping at it. Just kind of like roll and try to like hit the top of the ball, create a little bit of top spin like I did there. Not everything's about backspin. I had figured that out. Chasing a short pitch, still able to drive it out because that thing is just stupid. But I mean, we're hitting 52s, we're hitting classic M's. This thing was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun swinging this thing. Yeah, Jordan, I've tried starting with my hands higher, just because that's where, and I'm assuming you're saying that for the same thing, is because I end up loading my hands high every time. Like, my hands start low and then end up loading them high almost every time. And I've tried starting with them higher, and it just makes me just, I'm talking like swing straight down. I don't know. I've tried and tried and tried to fix that. Like, I like Ryan Harvey's hands. I like his starting point for his hands. They're kind of up by his ear. His bat is flat. I mean, obviously that stuff can change, and that's all subjective. I like his starting point. It's a good connected, somewhat of a connected position to start in. You don't have to bring the bat back and up or anything else. But I just can't. I just can't adapt to it for whatever reason. It makes me just absolutely tomahawk everything I swing at. It's something that I'm sure I could fix in due time if I put enough work into it. But I'll just be 100% honest with you. I haven't put the time into trying. But I could have did that this off season. But yeah, I do agree. Starting with the hands higher, because I mean it's unnecessary movement for them to be low and then come up and then go back down to the ball. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But it's kind of what works for me.
Wanda. This is our home.
All right, CJ. Yeah, you add a couple more on there. We ain't mad at that. I figured you would put some of your pitching defense in there. That's everybody wants to see the middle snap offs. I know it was a hitting video, but we'll put your middle snap offs in there, just because you're like the number one troll right now. We've got to give the number one troll the respect he deserves. So, kind of a squirrely podcast. I've been a little bit everywhere with it, but looks like most of you guys hung out for the entire thing, so I appreciate that. So, we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to go live on Twitch, playing a little bit of the new season of Warzone. Like I said, we can hang out there. I'll answer any of the questions you guys got. And, you know, whatever you want to do over there, you can just hang out. You can ask more questions. But I want to play some video games. Brian's about to wake up. I want to play some video games with him.
So we're going to get that in. Thanks for stopping in, checking it out, guys. I hope you did enjoy this kind of different style of podcast here. Swing hard in case you hit it, and I'll catch you next time. And by the way, buy yourself a stinking hat.